play the card game together.
Cash prizes and stuff.
The best cards are going to be the most expensive.
New inflated to £100 a box. £1,000 or $1,000. You're gambling.
New sets, the new artworks, the new card type.
TCG are the players.
Playing the game, card games.
Card games.
Card games.
Welcome to the world of TCG. I'm your host Leah, and I'll be taking you through this vast world. I'll be taking you through the appeal, the social aspect, the companies and the cost. But I'm getting a bit ahead of myself here, aren't I? What is TCG? Modern TCG started with Magic the Gathering by Wizards of the Coast in 1993. TCG as a whole can be dated back to the 1960s with baseball cards. TCG has many iterations from Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, the Digimon card game, Cardfight Vanguard and many more. Some with more success than others. Normally it is played in a 1 versus 1 format with decks and their own sets of rules. But why do people continue to play? I've been a fan for 15 years and that's what I want to find out. What is the appeal behind trading card games?
For me, one of the biggest, if not the biggest appeal is it's a kind of third place to go to meet people, to sit down with someone for like 45 minutes and to chat with them, talk about the same thing you have in common, which is why you're there.
There's two aspects to it. I love the collection side, like actually collecting the cards, completing like sets and everything. That's so satisfying. And then the competitive side of the actual game, you know, it's really fun just getting to talk to people, play the card game together. It's great, yeah.
It's very much that kind of appeal of collecting something and being able to complete something. Like, does like scratch the itch of like completionists. To be able to like complete like a set of cards or a specific collection, or even just to be able to finish a deck that then you can play with.
The atmosphere that it brings to folk, it brings a lot of folk together. I also enjoy the kind of artworks in the card as well.
The competitiveness and stuff, like especially I like Yu-Gi-Oh! More than other games because you can interact with your opponent like during each other's turn and stuff like that. So I like that competitive concept to it, and also it's the social aspect.
Oh, well, the common aspect they all seem to have mentioned was the social aspect. I mean, I can attest to that. As it brought me out of my shell, gave me a connection with my brother, gave me many friends over the years. Is it the same for the community though? I mean, how important is the social aspect?
It is the most important aspect. I don't think I would be playing, buying, collecting cards if there was no place to sit down and play them with people and like meet.
Well, without anyone to play with, you wouldn't be having anyone to play your card game with. And if you've not already got a close network of friends who already play the same game as you, then finding someone to play with can be quite difficult, where things like Geek Retreat here are quite handy, so you can make new friends by coming along and playing in like the events or doing casual stuff, and then just finding more people that have the same interest as you and the same hobby.
I remember before I found Geek Retreat or any other shop, I was outside playing like the card games and that, and they usually get damaged, where in here it's good because you've got that whole social group where you can find other players that play the game and you can start to build on your game as well.
The players and stuff make a shop, and what that makes the community that makes people want to come back.
These card games, they provide so much for the community, but who provides them? Corporate. Big companies all over the world, although the main big ones that make it mostly come from Japan. Examples like Konami for Yu-Gi-Oh!, Bushiroad for the Weiss Schwarz games and Cardfight Vanguard, Bandai for One Piece and the Digimon card game, and well, the Pokemon Company International for Pokemon. I mean, they all operate differently, and well, they don't always keep the fans in mind when they're making changes. But does the community feel this way, or is it just me? Do they feel heard? And, what's the company-fan relationships like now?
It can differ depending on the company. Some companies are fairly good with being very vocal about release dates and delays and what's upcoming in the calendar year. And then there's some of them that are they're not very good at communicating, whether it might be because the company is an overseas company, like for example, they're maybe from Japan or they're from America or something. So getting that communication is quite difficult. Between all the different card game companies, I think they're all relatively the same. Some are better than others. I'm not going to name names, but some of them do need to kind of step it up a wee bit to win back their customers a wee bit.
I think they kind of aim just to kind of get the kind of stuff out there and keep folk interested in what they kind of bringing out next and that stuff, with the kind of frequency of new sets, the new artworks, the new card types. I think it's pretty well.
I think there's a better connection with Pokemon and the TCG, with players and stuff, because they actually have prizes that reflect the effort that's put in. So with Pokemon, you can fly to different events and stuff, and there's cash prizes and stuff. Yu-Gi-Oh! There isn't, so we could spend £1,000 travelling to America, somewhere in Europe, and we get packs. So you're gambling for how you're going to do in the event. You're gambling on I'll get my stuff back in prizes and stuff like that. Yeah, if you win the event, you get flights and accommodation paid for you, but that doesn't trickle down at all to the TCG or the players.
Despite sometimes the rough relationship between the companies and the fans, they continue to be powerhouses and their games well loved. But not without releasing sets and producing cards every year. I mean, the Pokemon Company made 52.9 billion cards as of last year in 14 languages, released in 89 different countries. With this though comes success and greed. Cards increasing due to either world events or the entire TCG events issues. How has the cost of the cards constantly increasing affected the community? I mean, is that a problem?
Cost can be an issue because, bear in mind, at first you look at the initial cost of just buying product, and that's already quite expensive. But then if you're looking to, say, complete a set, or you're looking to build a specific deck that's what's competitive, you find that you're going to be buying single cards, and the secondary market, depending on what game you're playing, can be quite volatile in terms of the best cards are going to be the most expensive.
It can be. It kind of depends on getting into it at a local level. You can very much budget around.
No, I don't think they're too dear. I think they're priced averagely enough to kind of get you into the game and get you playing the game with you save it with pennies.
Since I started, the price of cards and stuff have started to inflate increasingly, and it is a big aspect. And I think that deters a lot of players who want to play, is the price of, I need this one card, but this card's milling the entire deck and stuff like that. So it can, in this climate, it's a hard thing to keep people coming back to playing card games because they've got other things to pay for, more important than one secret rare card and stuff. So
you've got new meta cards coming out which are very short printed, so you'll be looking at £70 for a card that you need to win, basically.
I'd always say you pay as much as you're willing to basically put into it. It's like any other thing really, or any other hobby. It's you can put as much money as you want into it. You might not get the best results, or you might not get the best cards. It's just however much you want to put into it and how happy you are. I wouldn't go too crazy and just make yourself bankrupt over cardboard.
There you have it. A brief dive into TCG. Now, if that sparked your interest and you want to try, then
just go for it. Come to a tournament, see what happens. You won't win your first try, but you'll have fun, and that's all that really matters with it.
You can just go into a local shop and go a card shop, go up to a staff member, be like, hey, I want to try and get into this game. They'll, walk you through maybe some decks that are affordable, some people there that play that maybe you can talk to.
Look up what are the most popular ones, what ones are like the easiest to learn, or what ones even have like an art style or maybe a game mechanic that you're most interested in. And then if you've found one that you think you want to check out, I would always recommend finding like a store local to yourself. They might do demos, they might do teaching days, or they might just have an event where you can pop along and watch people play.
Research and find a shop that does have good interaction.
Personally, I would say go for it.